What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in once again. And today we're going to dive into another detailed painting and I'll tell you about the lore because
I don't do drip or money or fashion. I do art. So me it's about art. That's it.
As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like to help me out, help out the channel, get more people to see it, and leave a comment. And subscribe if you're new, or even if you're not new and you haven't done so yet. And yeah, let's get into it. Nostalgia is such a weird thing. I have a love-hate relationship with it. It can bring such warm, happy feelings and such somber ones all at the same time in a big heaping pile of emotions. And I have a few paintings which I've created from nostalgia, or rather with nostalgia as an executive producer, and this painting falls directly under that category. I've been working on this painting for a good while. I've also been working on another painting that takes me back to my childhood for a good while. The painting I have up on my wall in front of me right now is titled Nostalgia. It's one of my favorites, obviously. And the visual is inspired by my childhood. I have a series of pieces that are tied to my childhood, and in a more general sense, the past, or things that I've lived through. I also want to incorporate the future into my paintings, but that's a much harder task given the nature of the unknown, all the possibilities, the future being unseen. You get it. But that is coming. What I like about these nostalgia pieces, as I'm apparently calling them, is the amount of detail that goes into them. This also means they take longer, but the payoff is greater, the love is deeper, and they make me happy and grateful for this gift, being able to create art. So let's talk about this car. This is a 1969 Mustang GT Fastback. The 60s Mustangs are some of my favorite cars ever, just because of the way they look mostly, and also because the car is named after a horse. I have a similar appreciation for other muscle cars of the same era, like the old Corvettes. I wasn't around back then, I've never driven one, and quite frankly, when I see them, in the back of my mind, I do think of racism and discrimination and segregation, but it is what it is. I'm somewhat inexplicably enamored with Mustangs, and specifically those 60s Mustangs. When I was younger, I was given a remote-controlled toy car as a gift that was, you guessed it, a 69 Mustang. I think it was a 69 anyway. But I was in love with this car. I was driving it all around the house, and the sidewalks, the street, anywhere I could. When I wasn't racing it around, I would just sit and look at it. Fast forward to now, I still just appreciate the beauty of these cars, and if I had a different disposition, different circumstances, I would probably get a Mustang now. But back to the nostalgia. When I was in 5th grade, the love of my life, obviously, liked my arch nemesis instead of me. I was the fastest kid in class, but that did nothing for me. My arch nemesis was not fast, but he was cool, I guess. And he was an artist, like me, but better. And I remember he used to draw cars a lot, but they were good. Memory is a funny thing. Who knows if I saw those drawings today, what I would think of them? But even as kids, I remember being envious of how he seemed to have a real grasp of the techniques needed to draw a realistic looking car. At that age as well. I was envious, but we were all always impressed. I gave up drawing cars a long time ago, but deep down, I've always wanted to draw and paint cars. Sometimes it just takes something sparking the confidence or inspiration that I need to get started. Ergo, here we are. I can't exactly put my finger on what sparked that confidence now, but what matters is that it got me here. It got me to the start. The rest was not as easy. I started with my shapes as usual and stuck to my free-handed, freestyle approach. After an attempt at a mathematic approach, trying to match dimensions and make measurements and that. But once I was in the actual painting phase, I was in a flow state. And after a bit too long, to be honest, I could see the finish line, the end of the road. It was all green lights ahead. All right, that's enough. Now, back to the nostalgia. You know how as a guy, when you take one good photo in this social media age, you have to use it for everything? Well, that's what I've been doing ever since I traveled to Hawaii. Visit one major destination vacation spot, you just have to keep referencing it. You just have to. And I've not failed here. Initially, I wanted to use a showroom-esque, all-white display background type thing for the car because, of course, I'm
brilliant but lazy.
But nostalgia took over and drove me to make something more of the negative space. So we traveled to the island of Kauai, took a scenic drive, and stopped on the side of the highway overlooking the Pacific Ocean and the island of Niihau. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. And took a deep breath. And that's the story of this painting. Thank you for coming with me on this journey. If you stuck around the whole time to the end, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment "the end" so I know you're a real one. And I'll catch you on the next one.